What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Meet You from the Midwest podcast. We had some new music drop this week, man. I want to do an old school one, an old school group. I want to shed light on because I've been disrespectful these last couple weeks, man, leading up to this album. And on top of that, and I didn't do my research on them. And then I want to shed light on one of my favorite artists, still, that I feel like he is, if he's a little bit more consistent, he'll be mentioned every time we talk about music. But I'm always gonna be checking for him, and that's my boy Wale. But let's start with this De La Soul album. Now, as y'all know, I was born in '87. I'm a late '80s baby. Um, I'm a R&B head. Like I was listening to R&B more than anything. Coming up around my mom and my grandma, and then like with my pops, I start hearing a little bit of hip hop and stuff. But really, hip hop really wasn't for me when I first started out. I wasn't into the conscious rap because it was most of the stuff went over my head. Um, I got into the hip hop because it was like some of the stuff I was seeing, like as far as like dudes having all the women, having smoking weed, having all the fly cars and stuff. That's the type of music I got into. So, like a week ago, I made a post in one of the sports groups I'm in, and I was pretty much saying like, "Yo, I don't know what y'all get out the De La Soul, but them boys ass to me," and I made a big mistake because for some reason, all these songs that I've been hearing over the years in the 90s, 2000s, stuff like that, that's been on movies and stuff. Some of your main TV shows, and all that type of stuff was De La Soul. And I just want to say I apologize, man. I went back. Shout out to my boy Chris, man, because he gave me a hard drive years ago, about 10, 15 years ago, and it had he had all the music on there. I can't access it for some reason right now. I need a different cord or whatever. But I remember when I did access it, it had pretty much all De La Soul albums on there. It's a couple of songs I like to this day or whatever. But once I made this post in the group, everybody started sharing the songs I should be listening to. And one of my favorite songs is "Me, Myself, and I" by them, which is a dope song. Which made leads me to the point that they dropped a new tape, and I was like, you know what? One of my homies, shout out to my boy Ed, posted and said, "Dog, go check out De La Soul new album." Now, I went to listen to this album, and like, this is not my type of hip hop because like it's not the rapidy rap type. It's more of the conscious rap, and something like I said, it still goes over my head. I'm so listening to like when I listen to lyrics, I know like what most people saying. Like if you dumb it down, like I can listen to that type of rap. But when it's the conscious rap, like Common, Talib Kweli, and all that stuff, it's like, dog, I gotta go look at the research to see who these names they be saying or whatever. And I don't want to take nothing away from them because that's what I did. I was being ignorant. I was being a ignorant motherfucker. But as far as this tape go, I want to get into my favorite tracks off of it. This tape is called De La Soul, Cabin in the Sky. Is it Cabin in the Sky? Cabin in the Sky. And I know one of the members that passed away, so I think that's why they named it that. What they were saying was they named it that because one of them, they boys, is in the sky and stuff. So a lot of these songs were dedicated to him. I want to give y'all my favorite 5 songs on here, just to go down the list. Sunny Storms is one of my favorite songs on here. A Quick 16 for Mama. Let me see, what else was it? Day in the Sun, Different World, and I will say my favorite song here is probably Run It Back. Now they got a few features on here. I don't want to jag these people names. Um, Yukimi, Nas, Yummy Bingham, Q-Tip, Gina Loring, Black Thought, K Butler, Stout, The Collective, K Butler in The Collective, Slick Rick, Bilal. That was another song I like on there. Palm of His Hands, and what was the other track? Who was the other? Giancarlo Espadio, something like that, and Killer Mike, Jay Farrell, and Gareth Duncan. I'm sorry, I apologize if I messed those names up, but some of those people I don't know. Like I know the Killer Mikes, Bilal and stuff like that because he's an R&B guy. Q-Tip, Slick Rick. I know those guys, but like I said, I don't know all these people. But the older people will know like this is a solid tape, man. I just want to shed light on there and say I apologize for saying that De La Soul is ass because they clearly not. It was just that I didn't understand the music growing up because I was stuck on R&B, like the love making music, which I shouldn't have been listening to at that age anyway. But then with the rap, like I said, everybody was talking about cars, having all the women's gold chains and stuff like that, and that's I think what our culture focuses on. And when you hear something like that, like De La Soul, it's like man, they rapping too positive and stuff like that, which is crazy to say, but that's just how it was growing up, man, in the '90s and stuff. Like I said, I'm 38, so I just wanted to shed light on this album and say, hey, I hope De La Soul fans, y'all forgive me for putting out that bad outtake. They got some solid stuff. 20 tracks on this tape. It was a few that I could do without, but like I said, it goes back to not understanding what the song is really about. It was probably about 5 or 6 songs, so 14 out of 20 songs is still solid. But as far as me, my favorite 5 songs on here, if you could go check that out, go run these numbers up, these streams up with these cats, man. Dope group. Again, my favorite songs on here is Sunny Storms, A Quick 16. My bad, I went the wrong way. Day in the Sun, Different World, and Run It Back. Those are my favorite songs on there. That Run It Back is definitely my favorite song on there with Nas. I just like the whole beat and the way that I like the presentation of this tape, man. Like every song, it transition is like it's a breakdown of who we got coming up next. This what they about to talk about. This one of the best from this borough or whatever. Because a lot of these cats from New York, and I just like the presentation. So if I'm grading it like that, it's a A+ album. But as far as the music goes, I like 14 out of the 20 songs, which is okay. In the comments, let me know what y'all favorite 5 tracks were on here. Also in the comments, drop names of old school De La Soul songs I can peep out, man, and add to my playlist, to my old school playlist. Because like I said, I was an asshole, man. I said some things I shouldn't say, and I do that a lot. But I'm man enough to say I messed up when I said De La Soul was ass. One of the pioneers of the rap game. What my boy say on there? He say salutary, salutations. I don't know. I don't even know who say that, but that's dope to me. So those are my favorite songs off of there. Again, this album is called Cabin in the Sky by De La Soul, streaming everywhere. Make sure y'all get in my comments. Let me know some De La Soul, your favorite De La Soul songs. And tap in with me, man. Like, share, subscribe to the Michi from the Midwest podcast for your latest music updates.